All right.
All right. Okay.
We're
We're
on.
on.
Yeah.
Man, that was a tough week. Let's start by saying that. I mean, tough week because two difficult albums to say something, actually. It was really hard to put them out. Like I was trying to find um, some not very quote unquote bad words about these two. Man, I'm overreacting. It's not bad words, but it's just that I felt so strange listening to that Eels album that
Mhm.
I don't know if because it has been like 10 years or so that we haven't been listening to these people. And it was a surprise when you chose it. I was not expecting that at all.
I was not
And
expecting that.
I even had forgotten about that band. It has been a long time. But I don't know. It was interesting. You mentioned something that you came back to listen to some of their other records.
Yeah, the other one that I remember.
The one that we probably listened to that ages ago. Yeah.
Yeah. It
So I
was the
started.
name is Wonderful Glorious, something like that.
Is it
Wonderful
from what
Glorious, yes.
2013?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long time. It's interesting because, as I said, we I like sad and I like lo-fi,
Hmm.
but it was the record. It sounds a bit off. Okay, first of all, I had a very wrong impression, and that fits really nice that old expression when we say don't judge a book by its cover, right? I judged the album like not in a bad way, but I was expecting something else. The cover art, it seems like way different from the record because
Yeah, it
it
seems fun,
it's
right?
fun. Yeah, it seems fun and colorful. I was probably expecting some Coldplay Imagine Dragons shit.
Uh-huh.
But it took me off, man. It took me off.
Yeah.
I played the record for the first time, and I started listening to the first track, and then I was like, well, maybe that it's one of those introductions they say
Yeah.
they do, and then the second track came along, and I was like, is this the same track? What's happening? It's the first one, and then it was the second one, and I was like, wait, hold on, it's dragging a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds weird,
You were
and
like,
then
that's the whole thing.
yeah, and then I kind of like that time I stopped the record and I came back. I listened to the first one again because, like I said, I've been listening to the records now for the first time. The albums that I'm not expecting, of course, those who the tracks that the albums that I expect, I've been anticipating. I
Hmm.
take some time, just put on my phones first, and just go ahead and listen to them. But like these albums that it was a surprise. I was not, I didn't know what to expect.
Hmm.
So I took the time and played the record, and then at this time I stopped and came back and sit down. I sat down and listened to the half of the album, like paying attention. It was a bit difficult. Like I want you to say something because I don't want to
Man,
destroy this because I don't think I'm entitled to this album because
yeah,
I don't know what they have been doing for the past 10 years. So
yeah. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry for this week. I want to start by saying that because, man, oh man, come on.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man.
thank God we have Jon Foreman's because, man, the other two albums are just, man, they suck. Yeah, I think there is no kind way to put it. They suck. I mean, Eels, I remember them being like a weird pop rock indie band.
Yeah,
And that's fine.
we like kind of Weezer kind of
Yeah.
vibe before, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't know what to expect either because I was like, I'm trying to remember what they sound like. But then I put the first track, and I was like, okay. I was cooking the first time I put this on, and cooking is a
fun
happy
thing
time for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this maybe not the best soundtrack for cooking. You know, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna, season with my tears.
And it's gonna be salty as my tears now.
And then I agree with you. I was like, maybe it's the intro, it's weird. But then the second song comes and it's weird and not in a good way.
Yeah.
And then the third song comes and I was like, when are they gonna stop this?
Or when are they gonna start the record?
Yeah. But then it comes the fourth song, and it's like, okay, it's a not terrible song, but it's not good as well. So
no, it's not.
Like, okay.
Like I said in what I wrote, it seems that it takes up a little bit more. Like it gets a little better. It sounds more the real instrumentation, and it sounds more like a song. I don't want to say it sounds like a song, but I don't know. I feel like
the other one sounds like whining, man.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's like mumbling, and then it's out. Sometimes it's out of tune, like you said, and it's dark and it's eerie. It's melancholic, and it's weird at the same time. Man, that song Goldie, I felt that it was. I don't know. It's me, but I told you, the song is called Goldie. It seems like a fish name. And the song is written by a cat perspective. And I said, when I realized that, I said, man, this song is even worse if it really what it means. Like the cat is just hanging around, seeing people going by and like desiring for that fucking fish.
Yeah.
It's called Goldie. God damn it.
Yeah,
and this time where he goes, I said, where is it? Oh, the tail between my legs has gotten me worried. Man, shut up. It's right a good damn song. But maybe listen, like I said, I haven't been listening to them for some time. Maybe the other records before are better in terms of construction or instrumentation, melodies, and lyrics as well. Because this record alone, it's bad, right?
If this was the, I don't know, the first album ever I listened to them, I would just cross this band out of my life.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But
I don't mean I don't mean any disrespect to the band.
No, I do. Right? I do.
Okay.
Come on, man. It's bad. It's like who am I to question artists, right?
For sure.
They are on their own doing their art. There's
What's bad?
Yeah, it's subjective, maybe, the guy wants to be a cat or a fish or something. It's okay. But it doesn't work, man. For me,
no.
It doesn't work at all. I mean, if it were only for the lyrics and the music was good, but it's not. Like, nothing works.
No. No. It's boring, and like I told you, I just kind of felt a little bit of goodness towards track one because after I watched the video, which is a nice video.
Yeah.
So that song alone, remove that from the record and listen to that song alone. I think it's okay, like because of the video. I'm saying this, but in respect to the video, because I felt it's nice. About time, about enjoying your time with your loved ones and all that.
The first song is one of the worst for me, man, because it's like there's like what I said on my text is like there are some weird pop artists that they make the song in a way that when you listen to it at first, it sounds like it's out of tune, but it's on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think there's no goal with that,
No goal and no joy. I mean, even with more introspective lyrics, introspective sounds that we've seen before, there's a goal, there's a purpose for that,
Yeah.
right?
And here is just not. It just feels like the guy doesn't know how to sing. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like I made a comparison, but you may be angry at me, but
That's a bad comparison. I didn't like
yeah,
that. I didn't
because
like that.
there's no comparison between the two bands. It's like
For sure.
it's
And
not,
it's completely different records.
no, yeah, but I mean in the way that I'm talking here about Arctic Monkeys' Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, which is a weird record. You know, it's a weird experimental. There are some melancholy on the album, yeah, but they are and there are those spacey things that we talk about, especially
Yeah.
because of the theme of the album. But they are trying to do something. They are trying to, you know, create some new
Accomplish
stuff.
something,
And some things work for me. Like it's not my favorite Arctic Monkeys album, but some things work, some things don't. But mostly, I respect them for trying. Like
sure.
with Eels, I'm like, okay, I'm spending way too much time in this album, and I shouldn't.
Exactly. I felt that. And honestly, like by Wednesday, or it was Wednesday that I was like focusing on this record, I thought about texting you, asking you to change the record. I said, man, I'm trying too hard.
But let's just agree on something here. If the album doesn't work for you, just stop it and listen to something else. You know, go back
we should
the weeks. You know, something like that.
No, we should do it because, you know, it's a different experience. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice because sometimes it's nice that we can, you know, feel other things,
Yeah.
right?
But do you
but
know how
don't
many
don't
times-
go in and choose some sertanejo fucking
No, of
shit.
course not.
I'm
Come
joking.
on.
I'm kidding.
But how do you know how many times you listened to the album?
To the record, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because what happened to me is that I told you, I listened, I had my first experience with the record, and then the second one I was trying to understand a little better, reading the lyrics, put my phones, trying to listen to
You were
the
giving the
elements.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and then I saw myself the last 2 times I was listening, and there were some other songs that I listened more just to check, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I saw myself like forcing myself to listen to that record just because of what we have here, of course. And like I told you about this, the 2 tracks, track 1 and track 4, they are songs that if you take them out of the record and listen to them like alone, out of place, you know, I would just say, okay, good. Like it's not good, but it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But I was forcing myself to do that because I was trying to find something
Yeah.
like quote unquote good about this record.
Because this is you. You're always trying to find.
I'm trying, yeah. I try,
you
man.
know? Yeah.
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 So that's why, even though like these 2 tracks, I said it is a not good album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give like it's not a 1. I'm not gonna give a 1. It's a not good out of 5.
Not grading is better than grading in this.
Exactly. So not even for the songs. I just wanted to mention the 2 songs here that stood out in this way that I said.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it's not a good album, it's not.
Yeah. Like you, I listened to it 3 times, and then I went back to the old record, and then I listened to it once, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like it works. It's a good album. What happened?
Yeah, it's cohesive.
Yeah. What happened? It's a fun album. It's it's interesting. You have some musicality into the thing.
For sure.
And then I went back. I listened to it once more, and I was like, yeah, it's just. I listened to it, and then I wrote my text while listening to it.
For sure, yeah.
And maybe because of that, I was a little angry while I was writing, so I put that into my words. And
you externalized that very well.
And then I am listening to it now while we were talking, because when we were recording, I put the records here so I can listen to them. It's way on the back, and it's not fun.
Come on, man.
I think we should move on to the next one so I can.
Yeah, move on. Let's move on.
One.
One thing. Yeah, we move on. One thing. Just one more thing. One thing I didn't do for this record is I like to search for interviews, read and write and watch what the artists have to say about that, and also what other people say about the record. I didn't find anything, and I didn't find any interviews. So maybe I'll search more to see what's going on. Yeah, maybe they're embarrassed. I'll have to see, but yeah, that's fine, man. It's a not good out of 5 for me.
No, it doesn't work.
And then we have Josh Wilson, Mental Help. I think, look, let me just say this. I was trying to find the good words not to hurt you, because I know you really love this guy, this artist. But once you just open the gate, I was just, all right, let's go. It sucks. And another thing I was trying to force myself to maybe think about more about the record, it's because of the lyrics. I respect a lot this, him, like I said, talking about, anxiety and in all those dark places. And at the same time, talking about Jesus, what he did to us and his love and his power, which is really nice and really, really nice. And I think those are kinds of those straightforward Jesus songs are, I think for me, works more in worship style, which is not my thing. I don't really dig worship like those. I like some, of course I like some. There are some that are really beautiful. My wife likes it a lot, but I don't think these kinds of lyrics work for what he makes. Different from that band that I'm missing the name now. The dark dude from DC Talk, Newsboys.
Newsboys, okay.
Yeah, Newsboys, they make great albums, great songs.
Yeah.
Like here in between, yeah. I think they have a new record coming out, or there's a new song. I don't know. I listened to a song that they put out.
Now too.
It's too pop,
like
but they have always been.
Old Newsboys was way better.
Yeah, but they have always been this poppy thing. But I don't know. I think what I want to say is there are people who know how to make like pop.
Yeah.
And for him, this one didn't work at all. Different from the one before, from 2015. I just love that record. And like I told you, I thank you for showing me this artist that at that time I had a lot of fun listening to him. Great songs and tunes and lyrics, but it's too pop, right?
Yeah.
It's
like he's always been pop. There's nothing rock about him, but he's always had this pop style, but he would have some, I don't know, some little tweaks of folk, some stuff. Like there's his Christmas album, which is beautiful. Like it's amazing, and he records all the instruments, so there is a lot of folk instruments on that.
I remember that. Yeah,
it's beautiful, man. I love that album. But like there's that thing we were discussing that I follow him on social media, and I know that he has been through a lot of hardship with addiction and alcohol and stuff like that. And I totally get it. He's an artist. That's his way of dealing with it. But what I wrote in my text is, man, there is a poetic way to do that, And it's like, it's not like, for example, I had a problem in my life. For example, my father died when I was a kid. If I'm gonna put that into a song, I'm not going to say with those exact words, right? I'm going to, I don't know, try to find words to emulate the feeling of feeling that.
This is what Jon Foreman does. This is what Jon Foreman does, right?
Yeah. And then it's right. It's right in your face. Like what he means, it's like what he wants to say is actually what he means, and he's too literal about it. And we're talking about music, subjective stuff.
Yeah. Do you think it's interesting because for this kind of theme, depression, anxiety, alcoholism, loss, it's interesting because this is probably the first one that I listen that is like that, like straightforward. He literally says like the feelings and the situations going on, right?
Yeah.
So I've listened to a lot of people, a lot of songwriters write about this, but like you said, to emulating the feelings. I was just, recently I was I was studying a song with my students. The song's called "The Dying of the Light" by Noel Gallagher. One of the most beautiful songs I've heard from him. He writes really beautifully. And the song is completely, like all analogies about how he's been suffering, how he's been feeling lost, and he's been trying to get to a better place, recognizing that the past is gone, the past is behind, and he's trying to put the past behind, trying to make sense of what life is from this point on. So, and then he just chooses beautiful expressions, analogies. It's really beautiful, right? But Noah is Noah, right? He's a great writer, great songwriter. So I think it was writing like this, how he wrote. It seems, I might be completely wrong, and I am probably wrong. It seems like a desperate way to really show that he was in a bad, dark place.
Yeah.
Like, say, hey, I was bad. I was really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like let me make a comparison here.
Sure.
Because he has a song called "Jesus in Therapy," right?
Yeah.
For me, that's one of the worst songs of the album, like by far. Like
it's true.
it's not like I don't believe that. I do believe in Jesus, and I'm not against therapy.
Me neither.
I'm totally for on with him.
For sure.
But then he says, Jesus in therapy, Jesus in therapy. The last few years for me have been Jesus in therapy. I'm not afraid to say I'm not okay. I need help. It's like, okay, man, so get help. Like, write a song about it, or at least create some beautiful stuff. And then I want to go back to one of my favorite songs from him. It's called 3 Minute Song.
Oh.
He says, look at the first part of the song. He says, I try to write a song and keep it 3 minutes long, get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. And I tried 1,000 times to fit God between the lines, but I'm finding out that doesn't really work. So he's making a 3 minute song trying to describe God. And then he jokes around with, I'm trying to keep him between the lines. And at the same time, he is making this criticism where people are trying to put God between the lines and to try to define God by their own. So it's like, it's rich. You can talk about it. You can, And here, no. I feel like I need to call him and say, hey, dude, are you going to therapy?
Are you actually going?
Yeah, and maybe that was his goal, but it doesn't connect with me, Maybe he can connect to someone, but
yeah, it felt
because he has a public, people listen to him, but it doesn't work for me.
It felt really disconnected. I felt really disconnected like that because, he's been, of course, he has his faith. And again, we go through a lot, ups and downs, a lot of shit. And of course, for example, me, I've been through so many things. I've never lost my faith in Christ, in Jesus. And I've always been, doing my best to be close to God. But at the same time, we feel kind of desperate and that's why we go search for therapy, and it's important. It's really important. Um, but it felt more that he was trying to either he lost his ability to write, or
That's heavy.
or or he was trying to
Yeah.
show off, like
Yeah.
being really straightforward. Look, I need Jesus in therapy. I was dying. I'm sorry. This record is for for these people, that
Yeah.
people.
And actually, he says who this record is from.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
The first, I was impressed because I was excited when the album started. That with that introduction, I thought, whoa, that's nice. The guy's gonna come out and rock blow my mind out, my brains out.
Yeah.
And then it's just,
Yeah. I think the other terrible song of this album, I had heard it before because he released as a single, and he made a few videos on his Instagram playing it. And it's called God's Not Mad at You. And it seems like a kid song, something you sing in kindergarten, and like the ABCs or something like that. Like, it sucks, man. It sucks. Like
the ABC.
the ending of the song, it gets a little more interesting because it feels like a church choir.
Oh.
But then in the end, there's a kid, probably his kid, saying yeah and counting or whatever. It sucks, man. It's just.
So
I wouldn't play this for my kid.
No, me neither. Look, it's a straightforward, like, worship song.
Yeah.
And I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I like to worship God in a different way. I don't like the electronic beats.
Yeah.
Sounds. Man, I told you that.
This song, the electronic beats from this song, they sound like Ross's playing the keyboard.
Playing his music, yeah?
Yeah, playing his music. Nobody gets him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man. So what I think is that he should have gotten all these lyrics. That's why I gave 2, because I just analyzed the lyrics. Mm-hmm. I wanted to separate this, so I could not say some bad things about it. So I was judging just the lyrics, ignoring completely the instruments and the whole thing. So for me, I would, if he would come to me and ask my opinion, I would say, look, get all these lyrics, nice lyrics, good, respect, but put in a different vibe. Just put it in an acoustic guitar. Man, you can play lots of instruments. Put in a very delicate guitar. Put some Jon Foreman.
He's a great guitar player, man. He's awesome.
For sure, he can do it. Yeah, but that's it.
Is there any song that you liked?
Yeah, maybe the first. just when he was saying, like, to whom this album is, and.
Yeah, I think the only song I enjoyed a little, it's Over and Over. It's track 9.
Yeah, why?
Because the sounding reminds me of his first album, but it's just just a little bit of the instrumentation back in the chorus. It reminds me a little bit, but it's just a slightly reminder that he's good.
I understand. Yeah. I told you, I texted you saying that this record sounds like the worst Maroon 5 face combined with Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. Yeah. I mean, sorry. Yeah. I don't like it.
I gave it 1.5, maybe just because of this song, because I don't know, and I could go to 1. I don't know.
Yeah,
good.
I could downgrade
I'm
for
so
one too.
like I'm so sad, Josh. If you ever see this, I love you. I love all
We
your
love you, man.
yeah, I love all your previous records. If you need to talk to someone, I'm here. Just call me. You can talk.
Me too.
If you like, we can pray together. Like I can totally pray for you.
We can hold
And
hands.
all the best in your recovery and stuff. But man, just
It was not a good album.
Yeah, just give us something else. You can. You're awesome. Come on.
Yeah. No, he is. And the first song I heard, it was that one 3-minute song that you
Yeah.
recommended me years ago.
Yeah.
All right. And now we come to the best one ever, of course.
Yeah. Finally.
Finally.
Thank God we had him.
Go ahead, man. You start.
I start.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the third album from Mr. Foreman, and it's called
Actually, it's the second full length.
He has the Leaves and Branches, which
the
is like a
EP.
combination of his EPs.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
he considers like a full length.
No, I heard him saying that this is the second full length.
Okay.
He considers
said
that like EPs. Yeah.
Yeah, if he said it, it's because he released like a version of combined songs from his EPs, like the main song, because he released 4 EPs, each one with the name of a season, and then he took like 2 songs out of each EP, or 2 or 3 songs, I don't remember, and he made this like it's like a I don't know, it's like a playlist or a group of, something, and it's called Limbs and Branches. And it's good. It's
Nice.
It's amazing.
It works
Yeah.
nice. The songs.
Yeah. And it's called In Bloom. And I listened to a podcast that he went, and he talked a little bit about, he talked very little about the album, because him and the guy, they start talking about surfing and other stuff and family and
about life.
but it's interesting because when they get into the album, they get it very organically.
Yeah.
They don't like, hey, let's stop and talk about your album now.
Yeah.
It's just they just roll. And the album is called In Bloom, and it's, I don't know, man. It's such a beautiful thing, because and in the interview he says that he's using the album and the seasons again, because he apparently he loves seasons.
He loves seasons and weathers.
He's been doing that for a while.
Arrivals and departures. He loves that. And
Yeah. But then he said,
you see in the podcast, he was gonna release an album called Arrival.
Yeah.
He said that in the album. He says it seems that he has the songs, but
Yeah.
it was not well enough at that time.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, because he's talking about seasons, and he doesn't start the album, I don't know, in a high note. He starts very, like, with I Propose a Toast. Man, this song, it's so beautiful, and it's so beautifully written, and there's such a cozy atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I love it.
And I want to hug him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's amazing. I mean, we are in the second week listening to it, and in the first week I had a favorite song from this album, and by the second week now I have another, so it changed. So,
Interesting.
but that's it. What he says about the whole idea of this album is that he had to. He said, "I had to let things die." And he said, starting projects and starting things is, it's very cool because you're energized and you're excited. Something new is about to start, but the endings are, hard. Even if it's something that, it's not a bad ending, but it's an ending. So it usually you have to say goodbye to something, or to someone in your life, or to a project that you love, or of a phase of your life. So endings are hard. That's the whole idea of the album. And I think he celebrates this on this album. I think he celebrates endings.
He celebrates endings, and he celebrates the bad things, not only the good things, of course, but he celebrates. That's exactly it, man. What I thought. He celebrates the endings, bad or good, and celebrates the process of getting to that end, right? Whichever it is, because in the beginning, in the first song, that's very open here. He says, "Here's to all the roads that brought us here," right? Recognizing all the trajectory of going to a place. The shadows we're afraid of. It's beautiful to say.
Yeah.
The stories that we're made of. Here's to all the storms along the way. The bridges I'm still burning. You see, the lessons I'm still learning. The moment's low, but I can't hold it while it goes. So I propose a toast. Here's to every failure tried. Here's to friends that cash can't buy, and bonds that won't be severed. Here's to love, and here's to life. Here's to fighting side by side. Here's to us together, you and I. Man, I love this guy. I want to be his friends.
Yeah. See, that's poetry, guys. He's not saying, "Oh, I'm sad because I'm finishing a project." No, he's not saying that. I mean, he's saying that, but in other words, it's poetry.
And the whole album has all those chords that he brings. I mean, talking about instrumentation, all those chords, man, those. I put serene acoustic guitars, like very serene and sweet. I can't describe it, man. It's sweet, it's cozy, it's warm, and it's soft, it's embracing, and it feels that it holds you to tell you the story that he wants to tell, right?
And he uses some chords here like cello, which is beautiful, man. And
the cello, the piano.
He has a video, I don't know if you've seen it, of playing this song, and it's just him and a guy playing the cello. Man, that's
beautiful. That's beautiful. And again, my thing about the mixing of records, like here in this record, you can hear when he is slipping his finger on the chords. That like when the guy's playing the cello, you can hear the fingers sliding, changing the chords, right? The piano, man, you can hear the keys like being pressed,
That's something that for me, it's one of the worst things in music today, is that because it's all digitalized, they try to eliminate those little imperfections that make music such a human and believable thing, So
it's great, man. I just love this kind of record. Again, sometimes it may sound lo-fi like we talked about, but it's a good one, and it's well written. So what can you say, right? Track number 2, man. That is my favorite track.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
That's my favorite one as well.
That's amazing. High five.
Yeah. A virtual high five.
A virtual high five. Man, where did all the butterflies go? Maybe this what it feels like to let go. Man, this guy understands me. This guy understands me. And I understand him. Because there's a hole where you were not. But then you don't know what you got until it goes. We made a life together with a sound. Thought that nothing in this world could bring it down. But now the distance in between us leaves me wondering, how could silence be this loud? Right? We've lived our whole life leading up to this moment. Ain't no maps where we're going. We only know where we've been. Because life gives nothing guaranteed. But you're always a part of me, even out there where the unknown begins, where the sidewalk ends. Man, meditating about the whole process of living.
Yeah.
Life it's nice to see, like you said, he can write. This guy can write.
Yeah,
He can fucking write.
for sure.
Because he can like literally describe life, what's happening. Yeah, what's going on.
Yeah.
And most of the times for us, we don't live in a fairy tale. We live in this world, man. It's full of shit. It's crazy. It's bad. And what we have is people, and people around us, God, that is always, we're living by his grace. And, what I see and what I feel is that we have to, be present to see and appreciate what we have. People are more important.
Yeah.
And all his stories that he tells here, it's like him maybe talking to someone or talking about someone, helping someone or being helped by someone, and meditating about or reflecting about the imperfections of life. But at the end of the day, we got each other. We're halfway there. Leave it on a prayer.
Oh God.
We got each other. And that's a lot for love.
Yeah. Listen.
I just quoted "Leave it on a prayer." I'm sorry.
Yeah.
By Tonto.
Do you feel like I have this feeling? I want to see if you thought about that too. But the instrumentation of this track reminds me a little bit of early Coldplay. If you check the second part of Parachute, the ending, the last songs, when you go, to I can't remember. I think there's Parachutes, High Speed, We Never Chain, and Everything's Not Lost. These are the last 4 songs. There is a vibe, there's something similar to that. And I know that Mr. Foreman is a fan of Coldplay.
He's a fan of Coldplay.
Yeah.
I completely agree. At sometimes we can. There's the same. Like it's a similar aesthetic and it's a similar ambiance, right?
Yeah.
Those songs like that you mentioned there are just masterpieces by Coldplay.
Yeah.
Favorite songs by Coldplay there.
But then there is a piano part that I think combines with new Coldplay, but good new Coldplay. The album
new Coldplay, bad.
No, the album Everyday Life.
No, that's good.
There are some songs that it's just on the piano, which feels like church, churchy.
For sure, yeah, for sure.
It reminds me of that a little bit.
For sure, I agree with you. And then you you mentioned the song that has a major chord. It ends in a major chord. Is this?
Let me remind here.
It's In Bloom. I think it's the track In Bloom.
Oh yeah, because I'm a record in bloom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You pointed that to me, and I realized that makes completely. It turns the songs around. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like it ends in a blooming way, right?
He's blooming.
Which is the whole idea of the record. In this track, it happens the same between some parts. There's a piano that goes up a little bit in several parts of this song, and that is such a simple and tiny thing that makes the song fun to listen and hopeful to listen, especially because of what the things that he's saying. That's feeling. That's feeling. Yeah. There's an education that you can't pay for.
Okay, John. That didn't work for me, but okay.
Come on, I like that song.
Speaking of which, my wife was listening to Departures, the 2021 song album from Jon, and I think she hadn't listened to it before. She was like, I was working, and then I got out of here and I went to the to the living room, and she was there, and she was like, I'm listening to Jon Foreman, and I've already had my favorite song, and I'm gonna be addicted to that.
Which one is it?
It's I forgot, something about Earth. Hold on. A Place Called Earth. Track 4.
Heaven is a place called Earth.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na,
It's the
na,
song
na.
with that girl that has a hell of a voice called Lauren
Oh.
Daigle.
So,
She's amazing, you know.
man,
Yeah.
that album, that record.
Yeah, you love it, right?
I love that album, and at that time, it made such an impact on me, on my life, on what was going on to me.
Yeah.
And wow.
I want to talk about the third song, Eulogy,
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
which is interesting because, you know, eulogy is is something that it's almost like, see, he's being literal here, but he's using good words, you know, because
Yeah, but he can write.
yeah,
He can write.
eulogy is it's like a speech that you usually give on someone's funeral, right? So it's like you give a speech and you talk things about
Yeah.
the, you know, the person and stuff like that. But then there is this, I don't know, man. This guy can write because it's like he's writing an eulogy about himself. And he says in the chorus, he says, every day I write the eulogy for everything I used to be. I'm still aiming for a better me, and the mosaic of a shattered man, broken and becoming who I am. So it's like he's being unmade and being reborn, because that's the idea of the album, that he's like, there are cycles, right? That
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's recognizing who he was. Oh, no, I was talking about Noel Gallagher's song. Recognizing all we've been through, all he had done, all his weakness and his you know, dark side.
Mm-hmm.
So recognizing that and writing an eulogy to that, you know, being honest about it. And from that point on, making amends,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and becoming better, like he says, like broken and becoming who I am. Of course, all those things that he did, like, made him who he is now. And then he says, finally admitting I was wrong. All that shattered, ruined dreams that I released, broken parts of me I thought were strong. The world I thought was always and forever and would never go away. Scattered ashes of my past finds that mosaic blue. He can write, man. He can fucking write.
Yeah, he can
Dude can write. He has a good pen.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and then I think the like the first part of the record, like the first four songs, they are more I don't know, about him and life, and he looking at himself, and you know, he like this introspective analysis of life. But then throughout the album, he goes checking little things of life that makes a difference. I wanna say something about track 9. We can go back and forth
Sure.
through the album, because you know, it's just at the top of my head. But cheap wine and expensive conversation, man, this is such, like, the first thing that called my attention to that was like the music, because it's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
he's with this girl that I didn't know either. It's
Yeah,
called
me neither.
she's
Abby
called Abby Holiday.
Holiday.
Man, what a beautiful voice. I showed the video to my wife, and she was like, wow, she has like a lower tone for a woman, but it's low, but it's soothing, you know. It's like, oh man, it's beautiful. And when they start singing together,
Get the fuck out of here, man.
it's
Unbelievable what this guy can do.
Yeah, and the lyrics says like cheap wine and expensive conversation. It's like, see, I don't want to keep going back to that, Josh. but cheap wine and expensive conversation. What is he telling you with this sentence? You know?
Man, you're asking me the question.
Yeah, it's like, but you can say something, please. What he's trying to tell you with just the title of the song, cheap wine and expensive conversation.
That brings me. I was, I listened to this song 2 times while I was coming back from Uberlândia on Wednesday. I always bring my daughter there to school. So on my way back, I was listening to this track, and I was wandering around because for this title, it means so much, and I was in myself thinking, man, how was the thought process of this guy writing this song, right? Because of course here it can mean, for me, I can understand literally drinking something with someone for hours and hours and hours, and having priceless conversations, having priceless stories being made, constructing like building something strong as a relationship. Yeah. So I don't know. And I don't know how this guy can write so much, but around a topic. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I felt? I was already thinking about this for a week now, because I probably listened to this record, In Bloom, probably like 11 times in the last 2 weeks, because I keep score for the first 7, and then I stop counting. but then when he says cheap wine and expensive conversation, and I totally agree with you, and that became much real for me last night, because this week that we are ending, it was Valentine's Day here in Brazil. Yeah. And I'm always seeing these people like going to expensive restaurants and nice, just posting a lot of things and la la la. But my wife and I, we didn't do anything. Like, we didn't do anything for Valentine's Day. Yeah. We're gonna have a dinner tonight because it was on a Wednesday. Like, we didn't have time working and stuff like that. But we're gonna have a dinner tonight, and it's a dinner in family, because my brother and his wife and my brother-in-law and his wife, we're gonna make like a romantic dinner between the among the six of us. And each one of us cooked something, so we're gonna have like this. We already did that once, but then the cheap wine and expensive conversation came last night, because my wife and I cooked the main dish that we're gonna have tonight, and we were cooking together last night. And we were cooking and talking and listening to music, and when we look at those moments, that's the expensive conversation I want to pay for, quality time well spent together. That's priceless, man.
That's priceless.
And that's what I get from this song, from the whole song, because he describes a lot of day-to-day situations, mundane situations of life. And I think those are the expensive moments, that we don't always cherish as we should,
Man, I completely agree, and I feel. There's an MXPX song from 2018 that's called "Moments Like This." So he says, "These moments like this that I'm gonna miss when I'm dead and gone, and I can't kiss my kids. Will they look up to the sky and think about me? These are the ways I've been spending my days, thinking weird thoughts and the things that amaze beyond my life, and the way I've been able to live it so free. These moments like this that are priceless to me." Yeah. That are priceless to me. Man, I cry because I've been going through so many beautiful moments with my daughter, for example. Mm-hmm. And it's priceless, man.
Yeah.
my daughter and I last Saturday, we had, my wife was not here. She was out. She was working, singing, and my daughter was here with me. And sometimes I go with my daughter, see my wife perform. But that Saturday, that last Saturday, I didn't want to go. My daughter we were tired. I said, look, just go. I'm going to stay here with my daughter. Man, we had an amazing time. My daughter and I, we were just watching, this young teenagers like some YouTube channels. They watch some YouTube things. And, I'm always paying attention to what she watches, and it's fine. She's very, she's going in a good direction, and she likes to watch some interesting videos and funny videos at the same time. So I was like, look, Elena, just choose a video there. Let's watch it together. And then I ordered some food. We just had an amazing time and watching videos and listening to, not listening to music, watching the videos and eating some food and having a conversation. So that was priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is an expression that I'm gonna use it for life. It's the name of the song: cheap wine and expensive conversation. That's an expression.
That's it.
Me. Yeah.
That's it. Beautiful. We can use cheap food too. Yeah, cheap food.
Yeah. As long as it's an expensive conversation.
It is.
All the rest can be cheap.
For sure.
Huh?
Wow. You can write, man. See, Josh, learn.
I can adapt. That's what I can do.
Learn. Paraphrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Stay Wild, Wildflower. That's a beautiful song, too. Stay wild, wildflower. Man, he sings so good.
Yeah.
His song, I want to hold his voice right there.
Yeah.
It's good. Beautiful song. And again, Stay Wild, Wildflower. That's another interesting song title that means so much. So much. Here he describes like a girl, right? See the girl with the blue jeans stare, split take laughing with the windblown hair. Don't let them change who you are. Empty pockets with a heart of gold. The kind of beauty can't be bought or sold. Don't let them change who you are. The big dreams of a small town girl, heart on her sleeve in heartless world. Don't let them change who you are. So you see what he wants to say here in this track, right? Stay wild, wildflower. Yeah, just be who you are. Continue blooming, and that's just beautiful. I like the construct. I like the song as a whole. There's nothing bad for me. There's nothing bad. Actually, this whole track, all the songs. There's nothing bad about the songs. This body of work, melodies, mixing, words. The chords, the piano, the acoustic guitar, the effects that he uses. It's all like tamed and fun in the right place.
Yeah, for me, different from Departures, which I don't like one song. This song is like, for me, it's 5 out of 5, man. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, for me too. It's a 5 out of 5. I have to put in the same shelf. I can't do 4. I can't say it's not a 4. It's not a 4.5. It's a 5.
Yeah, it's a 5 for sure.
It's a 5. There's no way.
The first time I listened to like the first week, I was thinking, 4 out of 5. But then after listening like for so many times, and each time I listen, a different song catches my attention, Sure. I think there's power to a record like this.
For sure.
Like, you listen to it once and then you're like, oh, I like the whole thing. But then you listen again and they're like, oh man, that song. And then you go through the song and then you listen to it, and then another time it's a different song, and it's like every time you listen to something new,
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
This is what I like about records, man. Not like going to we like to listen to albums, right? Play an album front to back. I like to do that, and there's not a lot of them can do that. Oh, I'm gonna listen to a record. If I play this record Will I be listening to the whole thing from to back, or am I gonna skip a few songs?
Yeah.
Of course, we will find good ones, like skip a few songs here and there. But the greatest records are like this.
Yeah.
Don't skip any song; just go through the whole thing. And this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
This record does it.
Yeah.
So kudos to Mr. John. If you're listening, if you're watching,
Yeah.
respect.
Let's talk. I want to be friends with you, man.
Yeah, me too.
I work with writing. I could learn so much from you.
For sure. You can do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna write "Stay Wild, Wildflower" in a nap.
Nice. Man, this is a kind of artist that you would sit down and just watch him play and perform for hours.
And that's not only the thing. Like, Jon Foreman is a guy that I would like to meet, like to talk to the guy.
That's the one.
It's not every artist I feel like that.
Yeah.
Like the one that comes to, like, just at the top of my head, it's like, I love John Mayer's song, but I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, me neither. Those artists like John, and we talk a lot about John Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's another beast that can write. He can fucking write well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for this week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Thank God we finished with John, right?
Yeah.
Because if we finished with the other ones,
yeah, it's nice. Well, after a month or so, I'll choose, or we can choose his other EPs, or we can bring in some Switchfoot, which their latest record is really nice.
I don't think I listened to the last one.
It's really nice.
Switchfoot,
I like it.
Because I didn't like one of the last ones, and I was like, they're going somewhere that I don't like.
No, it's different, of course.
Intro Bang, is that the one? I don't know.
The record.
Yeah, no, Native Tongue is the one I don't like.
But there's another one after that.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't listen to it. Maybe because I was protecting my heart. But we can choose it. Nice.
Interrobang. I like it. Yeah. They released an album, a Christmas album too. Have you seen it?
No. Like I said, I didn't. I kind of closed the doors of my heart to Switchfoot in Native Tongue, and I didn't look out their new stuff because I was afraid of them being like Coldplay.
Or Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, but Imagine Dragons doesn't mean as much to me as Coldplay.
No, nothing. I just say Imagine Dragons because they have the same kind of song
trajectory.
It's the same song ever.
Yeah, it's sad.
Man, yeah, that's it. Let's finish this.
Yeah.
Thanks. This is over.